Good morning and welcome to the First on Film podcast. Today we are speaking with director Harald Swinkels about his short film Odessa, a story that quietly challenges how we see people and who we trust. Set in the aftermath of World War II, the film begins as an intimate portrait but reveals something more unsettling. It's a film about perspective, empathy, and the danger of taking people for face value. Harold, how are you today?
I'm fine. I'm doing great. Thank you.
Thank you. Odessa is screening this week at Cleveland International Film Festival on the 14th and the 15th of April, and you can buy tickets online. Odessa is such a morally provocative film. What was the first image idea that sparked your interest? There's also a quote in the beginning of the movie, and to me,
Yes.
I felt like maybe that was a great starting point.
Well, the origin story is it actually started at a dinner table when I had a discussion with some of my friends. One of my most conservative friends. This was during the first refugee crisis from Syria 45 years ago. And he said, well, we need to keep those people in the same region as where they are coming from and don't let them come to us. And then we had this kind of discussion about if he would judge as harshly about these people if they would look like him and me. And that question stayed with me. But then also I wanted to portray a fleeing family with a northwestern European outlook. But then shortly after, there was this kind of dangerous politician that had a landslide victory in the Dutch elections. And I thought, well, people are voting for this guy because he's funny and eloquent. And I wanted to make a film in which I would trap people in their own empathy based on this kind of surface level trait. And then I started looking for, well, a monster with a positive trait, and I found this war criminal. And actually, on his Wikipedia page, there was this quote. So then I knew that I had found my protagonist.
That portion that you talked about politics, I feel like that is something that will never go away. I think us as humans, we naturally feel caring for others, we naturally care for others, and we naturally feel want to connect with other people. So I think it's really dangerous. It's a really dangerous trait that we have to naturally want to connect with others and
Yes.
find some good in people, at least first impressions. And I think I remember seeing an article not too long ago about throughout history, politicians are usually voted in. There's a higher percentage of them being voted in, just based on their very first impression.
Yes.
Yeah,
I can agree completely on that. I think it's also it's happening everywhere.
yeah,
So the film is becoming more relevant by the day, unfortunately.
yeah. You chose to shoot this on 35 millimeter, which gives the film a very tactile, almost haunting texture. What did film allow you to express that digital wouldn't?
Well, I wanted to have the film to have its own character. It is also, and because it's a period piece, I wanted to have this vintage look, and that was also what brought 35 millimeter to me. But also well, most of my the directors I love the most, they all shoot on celluloid. So I figured there should be something magical about this, and what it
Yeah.
also brings to a crew and a cast, and also myself as a director, is this complete focus which we needed to shoot this film in 6 days. So, and that also made it a wonderful experience of really making it feels very much craft-like. So it's really making, as they say in German, a Gesamtkunstwerk, which means making art together.
The landscape of the Dolomites are beautiful, but also ominous. The
Yes.
film's beauty is almost disarming. The landscape, the texture, the stillness. Were you intentionally using this aesthetic beauty as kind of a misdirection?
Yes, but it's also historically accurate about
Okay.
the man I'm portraying. He actually fled over the Dolomites, but it's also the film is also about the duality in man, and also these mountains. They have this inherent duality. If, as you say, they are very beautiful, but also they're very like cruel and ominous,
Yeah.
so to speak. So it was the perfect backdrop for the story.
You mentioned that the shooting was 6 days long.
6 days, yes.
What was the scouting process like with finding specific locations for all of your very beautiful sequences?
Well, we had 2 days of location scouting and 1 day of recce before the shoot. And well, as a starting point, I wanted to have the peaks, the three peaks of Lavaredo, the Tre Cime di Lavaredo, because to me that was also a metaphor of the fleeing family. It's two bigger peaks and one smaller. And it's also the film's opening. I saw it as the film's opening image, those three peaks. And then we started looking for locations in the vicinity of those three peaks. And
Okay.
we had this wonderful Italian location manager, and she showed us, well, some of the most stunning locations. So after 2 days, we were very excited to come back and start planning to shoot there.
The score is incredibly unique. I looked it up, and if I'm not mistaken, you used the Carnax horn.
True?
Uh,
Yeah.
the horn, from what I understand, is used for psychological warfare, but also war. It's a war trumpet. Not only does it add, in my opinion, a very haunting atmosphere in the film, it adds this tone, but it's also very layered if you think about it. Were you using this as almost like a warning to us, or were you conducting psychological warfare on us, the viewer?
Well, I think mostly the latter, but it was
Okay.
also something. If somebody sent me a clip of somebody's playing the Carnix horn at a certain festival, and I immediately send it through to my composer saying, "We're going to use this instrument once in one of our films."
Yeah.
And then it all came together when I originated the story of Odessa, and this horn was used during war in the Alps. And it was not only used as a war instrument, but also at funerals. So it was also something, there was some sadness in it as well. So we hired a studio, and we found one of the two people in the Netherlands that could still play a
Oh
Carnix
wow.
horn,
Oh
because
wow.
it's an ancient instrument. Nobody
Yeah.
learns how to play it anymore. And we just had him a full day of making sounds so that we could compose of all the sounds he got out of the instrument. So
Yeah.
that was really cool, but also really weird to go into a studio not with a score, but to just come out with the basic tones of what a score should be like. So yeah.
Throughout the film, we know that both parents are under immense amounts of stress, trying to find safe haven. So we don't typically see too many moments of laughter or content, but there are a few moments that I noticed. It's when the father is saying Odessa, the code name, that
Yeah.
he cracks a smile, and I'm just wondering if this was intentional in those particular moments because it is a form of communication. The code word is a form of communication, and
Yes.
it's I would think that it would follow with a disappointment, a face of disappointment, but it follows with a smile. Was that intentional?
Yes, it was intentional. It's also the historical figure it's based on. He was also somebody who tried to use his charm and also show his teeth that were kind
Okay.
of a real mark to him. So that's also what I found out, is that he was a bit dandy-like figure. So there's also when he's actually trying to find his confidence, he combs his hair and he breaks out a smile just to convince the one on the other side to let him in, or give him refuge.
Well done. I really like what you did with the code as well, how you chopped it in half in the beginning and end. You bookended the story. I thought that was like really well done. I don't actually like people obviously use quotes to end films, but I've never seen it done like that before. So I thought that was a really, really good way to start up the film, and it starts the film really positive, and I think it really pulls you in as a viewer. So
Yeah.
excellent job there.
Thank you. Thank you.
Any intention of making this into a feature film?
Well, not so much, I must say. I'm already working on a new feature.
Okay,
It's also exploring duality. So in that sense, the central theme is something that will come back to me. But I wanted also to make this film and let people empathize with the monster within 20 minutes.
okay,
So that was also one of the things that makes it, I think, even stronger that it isn't a full feature in that
okay.
sense. Yeah.
This film I mentioned earlier is screening at Cleveland International Film Festival. Are there any other screenings happening that people should look out for?
Well, on the 10th and the 12th, there's another Dutch film, Beyond Silence, that was shortlisted this year for the Oscars, and it's a really compelling story and a very moving film by Marnie Blok, Dutch filmmaker, writer director.
Okay. Harold, thank you so much for your time. This has been awesome. Wonderful,
Thank you.
wonderful speaking with you. Thank you so
Thank
much
you
for
so
this
much.
film. Very powerful film. And I hope people enjoy it at Cleveland.
Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good day.
You too.